Hi, it's Bill, back with another report. We were notified recently by US Steel that they're going to move 15,000 tons out of our 15,000 tons a month out of our plant. It's going to have an impact down at 1005. Now, it's interesting that the tonnage was taken out by Pittsburgh, the company that claims that they're just a creditor in the CCAA process. Appears that they were just lending us those orders. So we're currently meeting with bidders to assess the bids, the suitability to our facility, who these people are, what they bring to the table. We're going to collect and assess all that information. We're in the early stages of that. What we're going to do is report our findings once that work is done. Once we have a good handle on it, then we're going to do what we always do. We're going to come back, we're going to sit with you, and we're going to talk to you about what's going on, and we're going to get your feedback on it. As far as the orders being moved, our major creditor, US Steel, claims that they're just enhancing value. You decide. Our major creditor is currently in bargaining with the locals in the United States. They have a strike deadline, did have a strike deadline of September 1st. Both parties decided that they were going to talk through the deadline to see if they could find a resolution. The transfer, I take it, means that things are going fairly well down there in their contract talks. And if they don't, I'm sure that the company is once again going to find value in those 15,000 tons being brought back here. That's going to be the nature of our relationship with US Steel. Musical orders, back and forth, who gets what, when are we going to get it? There will always be that instability. That is an issue that just comes with the owner. Now, in saying all this, it doesn't mean that the market isn't bad. The market is bad. When fuel prices dropped, and I know you've heard this story a million times before, fuel prices dropped, then the price of pipe and the order book for pipe went into the toilet. At the same time, we've got this issue in China, where they're going into a recession in China. Now remember, China makes about 700, and maybe I'm overshooting by a couple million tons, but they're making about 700 million tons of steel a year. Now in comparison, in North America, our capacity is about 100 million tons. They gotta have a place to dump it, and it's gonna be us. It's gonna be a regular dump-a-thon out there. The Chinese are gonna be trying to sell some stuff at cut rates anywhere they possibly can. Now, in the news, Obama says he's doing something about it in the States. Right now, we're not hearing the same thing from our federal government. Matter of fact, our federal government, I think, is still looking around for the US Steel deal. We told them look under the couch, they might find it there, but I don't see a lot being done there, because when the Americans, when they put up barriers, the steel's just going to come through here. And that's going to be what the future holds, and it's going to be a political question as well. You are now suffering from the inaction of the government on a lot of different levels. And it's election time. When you have your candidate coming around, banging on your door, asking for your vote, maybe you should ask them about the CCAA process, about dumping. Ask those questions. It'll be very entertaining, I'm sure. Now, as far as the future orders are concerned, we're not sure how things are going to go down the road. We do know that we have the CCAA in front of us, and we've got to look at who our potential suitors are, how they're going to impact on the operation. I'm not sure how long that work is going to take to be done, but we're in Toronto a lot, and we are constantly looking at, researching, and trying to get an understanding of who it is who actually wants to own us. In the meantime, we were supposed to have a membership meeting on the 14th. I'd like to move it up to the 21st. I think there'll be a lot more clarity by that time. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot more clarity by that time. But I want to be able to have the sit down and explain to you exactly what's going on to the best of our ability at the time. It's kind of like collective bargaining in a lot of ways. You could talk about what's on the table. It's not necessarily there at the end of the day. Everything changes, and everything in this process changes very quickly. Now, we're not just dealing with US Steel. Of course, we're dealing with potential bidders. We're dealing with the province of Ontario. We're dealing with the court. It's a multifaceted type of a process. It's actually not as simplistic as collective bargaining. But our future here at Lake Erie depends on what happens. We all know that the fellows down at 1005 got quite a challenge. They've got a really large pension deficit. They're trying to deal with that. They're trying to deal with some other issues. It looks like they're starting to lay them off. I don't know how we're going to fare in this. I can't guarantee you sitting here that we will not experience more of a slowdown. And what will happen, that remains to be seen. I just hope I don't hear about it in a monitor's report again. You would think that US Steel would come to us and say something. Maybe they like talking through the monitor's report better. We'll see. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. Anything major comes up in the meantime, I'm going to be putting something out, but if not, I'll see you all on the 21st. You guys take care. Bye-bye.